Really.
This show is part of the Thrill Me Podcast Network. Experience more on Facebook and YouTube.
Core Memory Unlocked, a show about movies that shaped us.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Just me, baby. Just me.
Why didn't you just go home? That's your home. Are you too good for your home? Answer me.
I'm the dude.
Here are your hosts, Justin and Zak.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hello.
Oh, hi, my friend.
How's it going?
Hey, it's going. We're in the midst of changing Halloween into Christmas, so if you hear some background noise, that's exactly what that is.
That's what's going on. The transition has begun. I love your shirt.
Absolutely. You can buy this sweet baby on TeePublic right now. Throw Me Podcast Network.
Representing.
You have to.
Of course, man. Of course.
Things are going swell, I guess. We got to hang out. I guess we could save that for Love You Buddy, which is going to be coming out.
Okay, cool. Teaser
for the
we
future.
got to hang out.
We're going to have 2 core memory unlocks, not the core memory unlocks that we said you were going to get.
Right.
Zacky Poo had a mess up, and we are moving forward. We didn't want to go backwards. We didn't want to talk about White Men Can't Jump and Sister Act, but they will be coming later into the season. But we figured since, like I said, we're taking down the Halloween stuff and we're moving right into Christmas, why not start this season with a banger? Which, to me, is a Christmas movie. Batman Returns. 1992's Batman Returns.
Yep.
I guess before we get into our core memories and stuff like that, do we want to watch the trailer?
Yeah,
get
pull
some
it up.
Reaction of that.
Pull it up. Yeah, and I would concur that this is a Christmas movie. The whole thing is Christmassy. From beginning to end. Yeah, for sure, dude. I think one of the opening scenes is the Christmas tree being lit up, and there's presents and stuff. So yeah, 100%.
We'll have that discussion.
All right. Yeah.
I have thoughts too. So here we go. I think this is the original trailer. Shit's like 3 minutes long. It's half this episode.
Okay. Jesus. Danny Elfman. I love it.
Gotta love it. And it's Danny Elfman's first movie score.
From the sewers
Really?
of Gotham, a new villain emerges.
I did not know that.
I think it is. Maybe I'm wrong.
He didn't do 89? Batman 89?
No, he did. Okay, we'll get into it.
Okay, we'll get to it. We're reacting to a trailer right now.
Yeah.
The perfect enemy.
The Purr.
Oh, nice pun there.
Right? Movie trailer guy.
Narrator guy. Yeah.
I am Catwoman.
Hear me roar.
Yeah.
And the only one who can save this
It's a great shot.
Yeah.
Iconic.
is a creature of the night.
Hey, stud. I thought we had something together.
We do. Okay, show me all the fight, why don't you?
While she craves a romance she can sink her claws into.
Yeah.
You can't know a girl like me.
He plots a foul reign of destruction.
Foul. Bird.
Thanks to Batman.
Yeah.
The time has come.
I mean, this is the whole fucking movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm waiting for Christopher Walken. He hasn't been popped up yet, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Mr. Mayor. And to be quite honest, Christopher Walken got the bad end of the stick with not being in the main cast.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk about that.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer. Bitch. Ow! Oh, they didn't show it.
Above Gotham looms its greatest hero.
Question.
No, Chris-
Okay, so question. Did that trailer even say Batman Returns?
I don't think so.
I don't think it ever for once said like the name of the movie.
Yeah. It also Christopher Walken was not in this trailer at all, right? Am I crazy?
So I honestly, I think this was the teaser. Like it says Batman Returns there in the credits, but
right.
Interesting
So.
pull. All right, well, not the worst trailer we've seen.
Yeah, not great, but I mean, it was the trailer for the movie.
That it was, Ja.
Right.
Before we get into the movie, what are your memories? Because it being core memory unlocked, I do want to get into like the childhood aspect of this.
Yeah, this movie, it's funny because I actually, upon rewatching it, I remembered less of this movie than I thought I did. I think a lot of it was, a lot of my memories is Batman '89 or whatever, and I think I'd only seen this a couple times. I do remember seeing it, early on in my childhood, but it's not something that I came back to regularly.
Right.
How about you?
For me, I remember seeing the '89 Batman in theater, and for some reason, we did not go see this in theater. I had to wait till it hit VHS, and it was like that first day purchase. Like I was like, Mom, you're gonna have to get this. But outside of that, the things I do remember, the McDonald's session of this thing with the toys, like all the vehicles had like the little characters above whatever vehicle they were in. I specifically remember the Batmobile had the thing where you could press the button in the back and that one section just comes out just like in the movie.
Yes.
Where it like deconstructs the Batmobile.
Yeah, to this tiny, the skinny version of it. Yeah.
Right. So
Yep.
I have more fond memories of that. The cups, I remember the plastic old school cups and the logo having a white bat because the '89 one had the gold background. This movie had the logo with a white background. So it just, it kind of blew my mind that nowadays looking at it, how can we update it? Like that's how marketing was. They were like, what's the difference? How can we pull this different? Which in that trailer, like I said, they're playing the '89 theme. So I think we truly did watch the first trailer because that's not Danny Elfman's score. Like it's his score from '89. It's just not the score because there is a specific difference between both of them.
Both these movies, as far as the score goes, yeah, for sure.
And I know back in the past doing some research of it, like this is a very dark film. Like this is darker than people imagine.
So much so, I love we're skipping towards the end, but towards the end when Penguin's like, we're going to take all the firstborn sons and we're going to bring them down here and we're going to chuck them in the water.
Yeah, we're going to murder them.
Like the one dude like read my mind. He was like, that's a little intense, bro. Then he gets shot and killed. But I was just like, wow, they're really going for it. Like they don't give a shit.
And so I think the first movie was it was Tim Burton's first big blockbuster. And I think with the success of that and where he was going in his career, I think Warner Brothers was just like, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
so
go
Tim
for
Burton
it.
was like, okay, I'm making a Tim Burton movie. I'm not making a Warner Brothers version of this Batman anymore. Which you can kind of see within the buildings because I even think yes, they use some kind of characteristics, but there are definitely different looks of how this city is from the last one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, agreed.
So let's get into the characters. I do think Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton, Batman, he takes kind of a back seat in this one.
1,000% he takes a back seat in this one. I mean, especially for like the first half of the movie, I'm like, he's barely been in this. And when he is there, like, he doesn't even really need to be there. Like, you could have cut him out of the movie and it wouldn't have, he's not there for the plot. He came in and like fought a little crime at the beginning when it first all went down. And then it's a shot of him just like watching the news and shit. He's basically watching the movie like we are, like, oh, what's going on here with these characters? But he's actually not involved. He's not actually involved in the plot until he meets with Christopher Walken's character. And then that's when he's directly involved. And then eventually he meets Selena Kyle or whatever. But yeah, for the first good while, like all the setting up the plot in the whole movie had very little to do with Bruce Wayne or Batman.
Like, I would argue as Batman, I would really love to look at the numbers, and I might research it during. I would say him as Batman has the equal amount of time as Michael Keaton had as Beetlejuice.
I was going to say the same. I would love to see what his screen time was in this movie.
Just as the Batman, because I do feel like there are Bruce Wayne moments. I think
fair. Batman, even less. I think there's more Bruce Wayne than there is Batman, but even still, even if you combine the two, it's still not that much for a Batman movie.
No. But I do enjoy his character. They do nice little callbacks of Vicky Vale and stuff like that. Like she gets mentioned twice when Alfred, when he's like, hey, Vicky's here. Huh? Thanks for welcome to the Batcave. And then talking to Michelle Pfeiffer to basically, I don't know, heat her up. Remember when I had a girlfriend? Doesn't that make you weird. Horny?
Yeah, it worked. Evidently it did, bro.
It worked. I do love Michelle Pfeiffer and his chemistry in this. I do love
I thought it was great.
The back and forth between, in Bruce Wayne and Selena's life, like they do want to hook up, but then when they are Batman and Catwoman, they're so viciously wanting to F each other up.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
And to the end, when they finally figured it out with the kiss under the mistletoe is dangerous.
Right. Yeah. I love that. I thought that was a great moment where they both it gets revealed to both of them simultaneously, and I love that.
When he
I think
backs up and he does that.
Do we? Yeah. And she goes, "Do we fight?" And he goes, "Let's go outside."
And I'm not sure if that's a fight or a fuck word.
I'm very upset we got interrupted. I would have loved to see how that played out. Then Penguin fucks it up and shows up and whatever. But I was very interested to see, like, oh, okay, great. Let's see what goes on here. I like chemistry a lot. Agreed.
Speaking of Penguin, Danny DeVito comes in as the Penguin, a very different Penguin than ever seen in the DC universe. Usually it's a crime boss and stuff like this. Like we get from the beginning, which, by the way, Paul Rubens back on Core Memory Unlocked.
It's so funny because I was like, God, that looks like him. I'm like, there's no way that's him. There's no way that's him. But I was like, that looks Rubens. A lot. Wow, that is so crazy. I kind of want to see that again because I just assumed it wasn't, but it looked a lot like him.
And that's one of those moments where I don't think I realized until the 10th, 11th watch as an adult. You know what I mean?
Of course,
like, I'm with you where it's just such a pass by cameo. But it works. I love it. I love the fact that like they have this deformed Penguin man or boy who fucking rages on that cat.
I was gonna say, like, he downplayed it, like, so adult Penguin downplayed it, like, oh, my parents didn't like me because I look different. I'm like, no, dude, you were like attacking everything. You were like pure evil. You were like, not just look different.
Brought it in and ate that cat.
They didn't like that I had a flipper instead of fingers, and I'm like, nope, that was not. Yeah, you ate their cat in front of them, which they also. That being said, I was also shocked at how they did not react to either of those things happening. Like, dude, if my baby ate one of my pets, I'd be like, holy shit, that's my pet. And they were just like, oh, he just ate the pet, as if it was like a plant or something in the house. Like, oh man.
They did react. I guess. They did react. They chugged back that Cosmo they were drinking.
Yes, they finished. They're like, finish our martinis.
Yes. We gotta get this kid out of here.
Let's go throw him in the snow and toss him over a bridge.
As they do, where he goes traveling under a former zoo, which they just left penguins in.
That's the other thing. So I'm like, does no one own this zoo? It's all still there. And I love that all the penguins were left. And I guess maybe they thought they got all the penguins and then he started, because he's been breeding them for a long time. Those penguins aren't all just as old as him, I guess. So where did he get those goons from? He's got a bunch of it's not like Joker in the Arkham Asylum, where it's like he got all these crazy people. Like, where did he get all of his goons and convince them?
So what I think this movie does well in, because it is a very pay attention movie. There's a point when, like, I love the beginning when Michael Keaton, Bruce, is like, man, I hope this guy finds his parents. And he finds his parents, and then, like, he wants to be left alone because he saves the city or whatever, because he gets up with Christopher Walken, which we will get into, but I wanted to bear this point where Batman goes out and he's like, he's trying to figure out who he is, and he checks up on him at City Hall or something. Yeah. And he's looking at him, and you just see Penguin writing in the thing. And he's like, I think there's something else. And he goes on. What I love about that, because I don't think I realized this until the past couple of years, that's him writing the children's names.
Oh, of all the firstborns?
All the firstborns in Gotham. He wasn't trying to figure out who his parents were. He was getting all the lists ready.
Oh, he was
crazy.
Right, Jesus Christ! No, I didn't catch that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I thought he was looking for his parents. Yeah,
awesome. Which then that leads into the Bruce not trusting him, and Bruce did the research, and he was talking about the missing Penguin boy because there were murders and stuff.
Right.
So eventually Oswald does go to circuses, and I think he just gathers the freaks out of there, because ultimately
that makes sense. They are very circus freak type people. Yeah. No, right. For sure. But he wasn't as portrayed as much as that. And this one, as he was just he's been in the sewers his entire life for 33 years or whatever. So, but that makes sense. You're right. That makes sense because it all was kind of circusy stuff.
Right.
That checks out.
So I looked up really quickly. Catwoman has more screen time. She has 33 minutes in the movie. Batman has 31.
Wow.
And I'll be honest.
Movie, right?
I'll be honest, and it's just saying Batman and Catwoman. I don't know if that includes Bruce and Batman.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what does it say what Penguin's got?
Penguin. He has less. He has 29 minutes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I think once Michelle Pfeiffer is introduced in this movie, it's gun blazing, giving it to her. Before we move on of that scene, though,
all right.
Because this is the weirdest scene in the world. I love it to death. It's my favorite fucking thing in this world.
Okay.
When Alfred's there and he's reading up on Penguin and he gives him soup and he goes, "It's cold.
It's cold, yeah.
It's fishy swasser." And they look, it's supposed to be cold. And then he just goes back to chowing down.
Right.
What was that about? Who thought this would be the knockout funniest scene?
Right.
Because now I just find it funny because of its awkwardness.
Right.
If I saw this originally, I don't know if this does anything to me.
Right. Oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know, that maybe that was just supposed to just be a subtle moment to just show their kind of dynamic or whatever. But yeah, you're right. It had nothing to do with anything.
It had nothing to do with anything.
He didn't even need to feed him.
So Penguin, he's on the rise, and the reason why he's on the rise is because he gets connected to Max Schreck at the beginning of the movie, where there is this Christmas lighting scene of a tree. The Penguin gang takes over. They kidnap Max, and when he's down there, he's like, "Hey, remember me? I'm your friend, Frank's hand." I'm Frank's hand, which is hilarious. Danny DeVito knocks it out in this film.
Yeah, dude, he committed 1,000%, and for sure, get out of the park.
So Max is also going through some troubles because the government mayor doesn't want him to open up this new plant because he doesn't, he thinks something's up, which something is up. Max Schreck is a douchebag.
Yeah.
And
trying to fuck over Gotham for his own gain, yeah.
Right. So he feels if I can get this guy, Penguin, Oswald Cobblepot, in the office, he'll be working with me.
Right.
Right. So Christopher Walken in this, how you feeling about him?
I think, first thought, he's a handsome dude. He's a handsome dude.
Yeah. And even with that big hair.
But he's just this chiseled face he's got. Mm-hmm. I thought he was. It's funny. I thought he was fine, great. I mean, it's Christopher Walken. It's hard not to like him at all. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it is a little bit of those. I like that there were three, so there's three villains. He's definitely a villain in there.
Yes.
And so that is kind of a lot. It's not that convoluted because they're all very related to each other. So it's not like Poison Ivy doing her own fucking thing and Mr. Freeze doing his own fucking thing, and we keep cutting back and forth. So but that being said, like, he didn't really, I don't know, I guess he was more of there as like a plot device, I guess. And it was fine. Right. I don't know. I feel pretty indifferent.
I love him.
I mean, yeah, he's good. He's good.
I love him because it took for the longest time to realize there's actually 3 villains, because the marketing only advertises Catwoman.
Yes, you're right. This goes back to him being left out of like the marketing, but he doesn't. Right. He's not a super villain. You know what I mean? I guess.
Yeah, but neither is Batman. Batman's not a superhero. He's just a hero.
But he's at least has a costume to wear. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like nobody wants the action figure of Max Schreck. Like nobody's buying that versus Penguin, Catwoman, and Batman. Right.
I mean, you say that. I'm all over it.
Exist. I'm sure they exist, and the fanatics get them, and it's great. But meaning, like, that's not going to be one of the McDonald's toys.
No. So eventually in this movie, with Oswald getting closer to becoming mayor, during one of the fights, he takes over the Batmobile. Like, the gang are able to put this thing underneath, and Batman goes. And he figures, and he's recording it. Like, he puts a CD in his car.
Yeah, CD. I love the CD. God, they just don't flash the CD so much as if it's fancy. It's always like, there's a CD. Look, I got a disc. Yeah. It's like, that did not age well.
Eventually, when Oswald's giving his speech, Batman's tapped into the frequency.
Yes,
and like Alfred, he looks at him, shows the thing.
Showing up that CD. Ooh.
I love the bat compaction disc.
I know. Why does it have the emblem on there? Like, I'm patenting this. In case it's my CD player, they're gonna know who owns it. Batman.
I feel that's the callback to like the '60s show where there's like the bat pellet, the shark,
right?
All that.
Sure, yeah.
The bat cycle, the bat copter. I think it's just like this is the bat portable CD.
Right, exactly.
And he even does like a
he goes. But I'm like really. This is so '90s. Batman's a DJ scratching records, but a CD.
But CDs, that would hurt the laser.
You're right. That was a really odd touch. There was some of this movie I saw where like Joel Schumacher was like, "Oh, I can pump this up a notch." Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I see where he was going with this.
Let's turn this to 11.
Yeah, dial down the Tim Burton-y like dark stuff and dial up the kind of cheesy stuff like that.
That's right.
That was there.
So we get to the end where once Batman and Catwoman realize who they are, and then the kids get kidnapped. The whole final act of the fight I like, but it definitely just feels so fucking like, how did we get here? Like, he has a boat now. He can now transmit like all the missiles to just go to the zoo.
Yeah. I guess he's been setting it up for a while.
Yeah, which good, because that's how he comes from the beginning, where he was like, I don't trust this guy, so something's gotta be up.
Yeah.
And then I'm just more keen because even that played the same, where it's like Michael Keaton fights him, it's over, then we go on to Michelle Pfeiffer and Max Schreck, and then we go back for the final act, like final scene with him. But
yes,
I really love,
which I want to talk about. We'll keep going.
I really love the Max Schreck, Michelle Pfeiffer, Batman. Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed as Batman? Because he is Batman, you moron. Was. Boom.
Yeah. Fucking crazy. How quick he went from, how stupid he was to go, Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed as Batman? He didn't go, oh, you're who Batman is? I love that he had that thought. And then was immediately like, well, whatever. Fuck both of you. I'm going to shoot you anyway.
And I love the whole Batman's killed me, Penguin's killed me. I got 6 lives.
It sounds like I got 2 left. Yeah.
And then she's doing the song and she's like, all right, I got 2 left. I'll save 1 for next Christmas. How about I kiss Santa Claus? And does the tasting and fries them. I love all that. That is my favorite bit at the end.
Agreed. Yeah, that was a fun climax for those 3 characters, especially with with Christopher Walken realizing, who Batman is, Selena Kyle or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. I liked all that. But then Penguin. So unless I missed something, Penguin just comes out of the water. I think it was just because we just didn't want to end with just him in the water and assume he's dead. So he came out of the water, had a little bit of a speech, and then just fell over and died.
Yeah, like he grabbed the wrong umbrella. It was his last ditch effort. And then he looks at the water. He's like, and now it's time for a fresh drink of cold water.
Yeah, exactly. Boom. That was a good fall too.
And then the penguins guide him in, like Daddy died. That was great. That was great.
Yeah, for sure. And so we're like, okay, well, we want him, even though we killed him off first. Right. He's the main villain, so like let's have him have the last words or whatever after everyone is dead or presumed dead or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that's how that worked.
In the very end of the movie, Bruce is riding in his limo. He sees his shadow and he thinks it's Catwoman, gets out, sees the cat, grabs the cat, goes back in his car, and then it pans up and shows the bat signal, and then we see Catwoman's head go to black. Now, what's fascinating about that is Catwoman's head wasn't supposed to be there.
Right. I've heard this.
Yeah, so they digitally or, put her in there.
CGI'd, her
just
in there,
just to and it's not even Michelle Pfeiffer in the suit. It's just
nor does it need
actress.
to be. It's just this, it's a suit and from behind.
So they had plans to spin her off very early on. That never happened.
Which makes, but that also makes sense because she had 2 lives left and she used one to sacrifice herself. I don't know which. I still don't know why she didn't just kill him, but she wanted to sacrifice one of her lives, so she should have one more life left.
Oh yeah,
Which now she's mortal. I imagine but I also imagine they're not going to make her. I don't know. But that was also like I kind of wish there was a little bit of closure with Batman and Catwoman. But I couldn't help but think so Bruce Wayne had that meeting with Max. If he had just had that meeting a couple days earlier, he would have met Selena, as Selena before she became Catwoman. Because he was just immediately transfixed by her. It wasn't like it was a Catwoman thing. So it's man, if you just met her a week earlier, you could have got her out of it. She would have been great because she would have been I just fell in love with this multimillionaire.
Right.
I don't have to live in this shitty little apartment anymore working for this asshole.
Do you think it's that, or do you think Selena Kyle now puts out a pheromone?
Yeah, fair. Once she becomes she's part Catwoman, and I think what they like about each other and why the chemistry works is because they both have that secret darkness to them.
Yes.
And when they're really pretending to be, somebody else, which now Catwoman's pretending to be Selena Kyle, and Batman's pretending to be Bruce Wayne.
Right.
And I feel like maybe they recognize that in each other. So there's a fair argument there for sure. But dude, so I remember her being horny in this movie, of course, because that's the sex appeal and all that stuff. But I did not remember how horny Danny DeVito was in this movie. Holy fucking shit!
Oh
dude.
yeah, he was ooh, look what I can do with these flippers,
dude. It was insane the shit he was saying, man. It was insane. This is not okay.
There we are in my place, the fireplace flit with you in the background, naked, nothing on, just perched up with your little kid claw, getting right. It's what are you doing, Bat?
Yeah, dude. He was fucking. It was so fucking crazy. And then when he put the pin on the one chick, he was trying to fill up. He was like, "I'm gonna grope these women." Jesus Christ, dude!
This movie is horny.
It's he had this grandiose idea of how he was gonna take over Gotham, and then he saw a bunch of Gotham women. He was I kind of just want to start plowing women. Forget my original plan. I just want.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because there's one scene where he's it could be worse. I could have my nose could be gushing blood. Well, and he gets it, and he was like, "Ooh, I'd show her my flipper."
Yeah, he was saying, it was serious. He was I think he said he wanted to get all up inside of her or something like that. It was fucking crazy. Because Max was trying to tell him about being mayor, and he was just fucking.
Hello, Mr. Cosmopop. Yes, Mr. Pop. I need you, Oswald. I need you badly.
It was fucking crazy horny. It was wild.
The whole movie's horny because even from the get when Michelle Pfeiffer checks her machine, her answering machine. Like, she listens to the one guy, but the ads from Shrek's thing, it's like, ew, if you wear this, your boss is going to want you to stay night for a candlelight dinner for 2.
Yes.
Like, you approved that message?
Wild. Well, did they used
For
to do advertisements?
sexual harassment in the workplace?
No. Did they used to do advertisements on the phone like that? I don't remember that. I don't remember ads being like on phone via phone calls or whatever. Like
That's
that.
what we're
just
doing.
leave messages. I mean, we get that now, but Jesus Christ.
Welcome to the Thrill Me guerrilla marketing. Where
Yeah,
I just call random numbers.
And it was like by name. I mean, I know it was like an automated, but it was like Selena, Kyle. And it was like, and then it pitched whatever fucking crazy shit, like buy this shit. It wasn't like, here's your bank statement or whatever. This message is collect call from, whatever.
So where do you sit with this movie now?
It was good. I do feel like it was a little slow. I wish there was more Batman in it, for Jesus fucking Christ. But
it should be called Batman Barely Returned.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Batman takes the back seat is what a fucking. But no, it was good. It was definitely good. It's not like something I'm gonna like. Oh, cool. Definitely want to go back and watch this again. But
okay,
yeah, it's not like Batman '89. Like that's the one that I would go back to more often. This would have to be part of like a marathon for me to watch, but yeah, it was good. It was fair.
I don't know. I think I sit in a weird place where obviously Batman's my favorite, so like it's easy for me to go watch that, especially at Christmas time because I love unorthodox Christmas movies. Like
great, yeah.
I like this as one. I watch Krampus. I watch Die Hard. And all these fit those motifs for me. Weirdly, just depending on the time, I could sit here and say, no, I like this one more than 89, and I'll flip it immediately. It doesn't.
Right.
It's just the Tim Burton Batman movies are. Yeah, the Tim Burton Batman movies are interchangeable for what I'm feeling at the time.
Right.
I think my biggest issue looking at this, and it would have been an issue for me if I saw this in theater, this movie came out in June and had a Christmas setting.
Oh, how about that?
What are we doing?
I don't know.
Like, I don't understand, because Die Hard did the same set at Christmas, but I don't understand releasing a Christmas movie in summer, because I think that's going to deter you making even more money.
Right. I don't know. I'm sure there was some kind of. I'm sure that was discussed. I don't know why. I'm sure. I'm assuming something came out that Christmas that they didn't want to compete with. You know what I mean? So they're like, let's just do it. I'm sure it has shit to do it like that. I don't know.
No, for sure. Also, I mean, like if 89 it blew up the world, they were probably just like, put it back out in the same time.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
Same time. Don't change it. Do the same thing.
Right. Yeah. Fair point.
But yeah, I love it. I'm going to watch it probably next year. I enjoy it. But,
I mean, I love everything Tim Burton, dude. I love that about these 90s movies that we're getting into, man. It's just Tim Burton shit all the way. I fucking love it regardless.
You love it. You love it.
Yeah.
All right, well,
love it.
That's Batman Returns. What say you, watcher, listener? Do you enjoy Batman Returns as a Christmas movie, or do you just watch on the regular? Or
and how it stacks up with as a Batman movie. There's a billion of them, so like, where do you put it on your Batman?
Ooh, what a question! What a loaded question. I mean, fuck, I would do that ranking. Maybe I'll do that ranking.
It'd be fun, and it's very, and it's because it would actually kind of be difficult because it's very apples and oranges. I mean, with Tim Burton Batman versus Christopher Nolan versus George Clooney as Batman.
I mean, yeah. Do you count the Flash movie? Who knows?
Right. Fair point.
Anyway. All right, man. Well, we will catch you next week when we talk 1992's My Cousin Vinny. I'm excited. So, love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.